Hello, Bronx Middle School Math. We are going to go over an exit ticket. A lot of scholars struggled with lesson 9 exit ticket, but it's all about money. So let's go over this and I'm going to show you how you should approach it, what the question is asking, and how do we solve that. So let's come up with that right now. Let's write these out. What is the question asking us? How do we solve for that? Okay, so Cheyenne takes her piggy bank to the coin machine and discovers that she has 24 quarters, 76 dimes, 175 nickels, and 434 pennies. How much money does Cheyenne, or how much money has she saved? So, what is the question asking us? It wants to know what is the total amount of money in her piggy bank. How do we solve for that? We need to add up all the coins. Add up all the coins. But there are different types of coins. So we need to solve how much she has in each type and then add up all the types. So what I mean by that is that we need to figure out how many dollars is 24 quarters. And then we need to figure out how many dollars is 76 dimes. And we do that until we get all the coins and then we add them all up. So that is what the question is asking us. Let me zoom in there. Okay. So let's figure out how many coins she has. Oh, I don't know why it took me down there. So she has, okay, quarters. A quarter is, 1 quarter is 25 cents. 4 quarters in $1. That's the fraction of it. Then she has dimes. Let's go through dimes. Okay, a dime. That 1 dime is 10 cents. 10 dimes in $1. And that's the fraction. Nickel. 1 nickel is 5 cents. Notice how the 5 is in the hundredths place. If the 5 was in the tenths, that would be 50 cents. It is in the hundredths place. So 20 nickels are in $1. So if I have 1 nickel, I have 1/20th of a dollar. And then finally, penny. 1 penny is 1 cent. 100 pennies in $1. So if you have 1 penny, you have 1 out of 100. Now let's figure out how many Cheyenne has. So when it comes to quarters, sorry, oh, there we go. Cheyenne has 24 quarters. How would we solve how many dollars that is? Well, we know 4 quarters are in $1. And if she has 24, we are going to do 24 divided by 4 equals $6. So she has $6 in quarters. Okay. Now she has, how many dimes does she have? Cheyenne has 76 dimes. So 76 divided by 10 is going to be $7.60 in dimes. She has 175 nickels. So we are going to solve for 175 divided by the amount of nickels in $1, and that is going to be 20. So let's figure out how many dollars are in 175 nickels. I'm going to come over here and do wrong color. My bad, y'all. So my first estimation, how many times does 20 go into 175? Well, let's just say 5 and see what happens. 5 times 20 equals 100. So I'm going to subtract 100 from 175. Now I'm left over with 75. So how many times does 20 go into 75? Well, let's do 3. 3 times 20 equals 60. Okay. 60 minus, subtract from 75, and I'm going to be left over with 15. Well, 20 is bigger than 15, so this is where a decimal comes in. I'm going to put a decimal right here and put a 0 right there. So now I'm asking myself, how many times does 20 go into 150? What would happen if I do 7? 7 times 20 equals 140. And I'm left over with 10. Uh-oh, I'm running out of room, y'all. I gotta make it last. So again, 20 is bigger than 10, but since we're in the decimal, all we gotta do is add that 0. And 20 goes into, we're asking ourselves, how many times does 20 go into 100? And the answer is 5. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a really bad pen right now because my other stylus broke. So for the moment, I have a terrible pen, but we're getting by. So what we are going to do is add up the part before the decimal, which is going to be 8. 5 plus 3 equals 8. And then we are just going to take it as it is. 8 and 75 hundredths. So that's how many dollars in nickels that Cheyenne has. Let me go and write that down. And again, you do not have to do this form of division. You can do multiplying up. You can do any type of way of division that makes you comfortable. Just show your work. That's the most important part. Now we're going on to our last type of coin, pennies. How many pennies does she have? 434 pennies. 434 pennies. What we're going to do is do 434 divided by how many pennies are in a dollar? 100. And that is going to get us $4.34. Now, I want to discuss how I solved for the dimes and pennies so quickly. I was able to look at 76 dimes and go, that's $7.60. Let me show you how. Let me get out my terrible stylus. I'm being ungrateful. It's not that bad. So she has 76 dimes. And there are 10 dimes in $1. So what I'm going to do is I'm dividing 76 by 10. Y'all know what happens when I divide by a power of 10, my place value decreases. And we know there's 1 0, so it's going to decrease by 1 place value. So here's where the decimal is, and I am just decreasing the place value by 1. So now it is $7.60. Well, what about the pennies? How did I do that one so quickly? Same thing, 434, but a penny. We're doing pennies, and there are 100 pennies in $1. So I am dividing 434 by 100. When I divide by 100, I am doing 2 place values, decreasing by 2 place values. So here's where the decimal was. Let me put in the correct color. There we go. And I'm decreasing 2 place values, 1, 2. So now I know that 434 pennies is actually $4.34. Not bad. Oh, I didn't label these the way that y'all deserve. I apologize. There we go. In nickels and $4.34 in pennies. All right. So now all that's left is for us to add up these values. When we add up these values, it is so important that we line them up by the decimal place. So I am adding and making sure that all of my decimal places align. That way, when I add them, it's easy and I don't make any silly little mistakes. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Can I zoom in anymore? Okay, I guess that's, let me move it over here. Go up a bit. There we go. So I am adding. I'm going to add these. You know how to add, y'all. I'm not going to waste your time too much. 5 plus 4, 9. Then we got 16. So that is the total amount that Cheyenne has in her piggy bank. $25.69. Not bad. You can buy a lot with that much money. That is how we should have solved that problem. Now we're going to go on to number 2. Jenny buys 22 pens that cost $1.15 each. Then she buys 15 markers that cost $2.05 each. How much did Jenny spend? So what is the question asking us? What is the question asking us? The question is asking us total amount of money spent. How do we solve for that? We solve for that by, we are going to multiply the number of pens by the price. Then we are going to multiply the number of markers by the price. And then finally, add those two values to find the total amount spent. That's our game plan. So let's start with the pens. Pens. Okay, she bought 22 and each one was $1.15. So we are multiplying $1.15. Now, I'm sure this is intimidating. You're like, oh my goodness, there's a decimal there. I don't know how to multiply decimals. Yes, you do. Let's go over the steps for multiplying decimals. First, we are going to I apologize. We were having some tech issues there, but we are back. Okay, so first we are going to scale up, scale to a friendly place value. And I'm going to work with you so that we get some experience on scaling to a friendly place value. Then we are going to multiply. Finally, scale back to the original place value. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Miss Thart, what is this scaling? What are we doing? So what we are going to do when we're scaling is that we are going to turn this decimal place into an easier number to multiply. So let me ask you something. What do you think is easier to multiply? 22 multiplied by 1 and 1500ths, or 22 multiplied by 115? Which one's easier? This one. 22 multiplied by 115, that's the easiest. We can just do a quick array or the standard algorithm. So let's do that. But to do that, we have to scale up. So how do I turn? Let me make this bigger. 1 and 1500ths into 115. I need to multiply by 100. So when I multiply 1 and 1500ths by 100, it is going to turn into 115. Let me show you how. So when I multiply by 100, my decimal point moves over 1, 2, because there's 2 zeros, 2 place values. So now I have 115. So let's make a quick array. So if we were going to do 22 multiplied by 115, let's get to work. 200 2,000, 20, 10, 200. Okay, so let's add those up. So this is our final amount. So let's go over here to our steps. Scale to a friendly place value. So we turned 1 and 1500ths into 115. Multiply. We did 22 multiplied by 115, and we got, what was our final answer? 2,530. Now we need to scale back to our original place value. So we scaled up by multiplying by 100. So what we are going to do is take the answer we got from multiplying and do the opposite. We are going to divide by 100, because here's where the decimal place is. And when we divide by 100, we are going to move the decimal place 1, 2, and we are going to get 25 and 3/10. So that's how much she spent on pens. That's, dang, man, that's a lot of money just for pens. I think feather and ink, get some colonial action in there. Okay, let's do the exact same thing, but with markers. So let me get, okay. So again, 15, we're going to scale up. 15 times $2.05. I want to scale that up. So $2.05 multiplied by 100 is going to equal 205. So I am now multiplying 15 times 205. Okay, 15 times 205. Let's make our array. So now we are going to be scaling down. And to scale down, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I did. So I originally multiplied by 100. So now I'm going to divide by 100. And that is going to give me $30.75. So two place values, 1, 2, and I get 30.75. Now they wanted to know the total amount. So what I need to do is add $25.30 with $30.75. So let's add. We got 5, 10, carry that 1. Don't forget the decimal place. 6, 5. So she went to Staples or Office Max or Walmart, wherever she went, and she spent $56.05. And scholars, please remember, the dollar sign goes in front of the number. Do not put the dollar sign behind. That is incorrect. It goes in front of the number, $56.05. So here, I'm gonna show you a quick, you can pause the video, look at what I did. Pause the video, look at what I did. Let's do it again with this version. Pause the video, look at what I did. Pause the video, look at what I did. All right, scholars, I hope this was helpful, and we will be making more videos of practice problems or problems that we did in the past. Get your practice in and get ready for our final exams. Great job, y'all. Before we go, I have to humble myself and admit a mistake that I made. Right here, I did not carry the 1. This is why we check our work, scholars. I apologize. I am so sorry. It is not $25. I did not carry the 1 because this turned into a 16 and I should have carried that 1, making it $26.69. I apologize. You are never too old or too professional to admit when you are wrong, and I made a minor mistake, a little mistake. So I hope this humbling experience is a lesson for all on learning when and why we check our work.